Stretch. Hey tubies, I thought I'd do this video and kind of talk about our bipolar schizophrenic society. And what do you mean by that, Tiptoe? Well, okay. What I mean by that is, maybe it's just me, but does it ever occur to you that it seems like just people are bipolar? Like 1 minute everything's perfect and they're this way, and then the next minute everybody's this way, and it's like people conform to what they feel like is right at that time. 1 minute we're all supportive of each other and we're all united and we all love everybody and have this great pride, and then the next minute we're all fighting and bickering and having disagreements on what's what. And this is what I mean. Like, okay, so you have people who, just in general, in the paying a community, who are always positive and say, be positive, be positive, be positive. And then you have other people that go, well, no, 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 you can't, you got to indulge the dark and indulge the negative. And it's like, okay, well, which one? If you don't understand it, which one? Or then you have people who are like, well, let's support gay rights. And if you're gay, be proud and show it. Then you got other people going, no, 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 there's a balance and you're supposed to kind of hide certain things. And it's like, my God, okay. And if you have religious beliefs and you're Christian, preach the word of God and this and this and that and that. And then it's like, well, no, you can't overindulge because then people get judgmental and here and there. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It just, people 1 minute are preparing for the end of the world, and then the next minute it's like, nah, that's not going to happen. Or, the weather changes and things get, a little crazy with Mother Nature, and everybody's like, oh my God, world's going to end. See, this is it. This is the apocalypse. It's like, really? Really? It's all about balance. Balance. There's one woman who I really, really love. Her name's Phoebe Moon. But she did a video a while back, which she's been a victim of hacking, so that's not fun at all. But she did a video talking about the reality of people versus the actuality of people, and that really, really resonated with me because there's tons of people on YouTube, tons, and even on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. But on social media, online, when you go on there are thousands of people, okay, millions, and we all have our different beliefs and perspectives and things like that. Some people get on and their complete online life is the person that they either truly are or that they want to portray themselves to be, and only allow you to see a certain side of them. And then there's others that, pretty much will share everything with you. It really just depends. And, that's my goal, to kind of show you the reality of stuff. You could be who you are and be proud of it, and that everything's not glitter and sparkles all the time. Sometimes it's dark and gloomy and you have shadows. So I don't know. Video is probably not going to make any sense, like I say about all my other videos, but it really amazes me on the bipolar schizophrenia changes of just the online life, and even in your mundane life. People just, I don't know. My mind's just going 100 miles an hour, and I was kind of wanting to chat with some people, but so I was like, I'll do a YouTube video. And now that I'm doing YouTube video, I'm thinking this is kind of retarded because it's not making any sense, and I don't even know where I'm going with this. Oh, I hate that. It's just weird. Because you go through life, okay? You go through life and you have these goals and ambitions and, the certain bar level that you set for yourself. And you go through it and things seem to be going great. And then all of a sudden, when it rains, it pours. And, shit happens and it sucks and you got to go through it. And I have learned that the way that I've always become the strongest in being able to survive everything is, you have to embrace the moments as they come, no matter how dark or light they are. and go through the emotions that you're supposed to. You know, if you're gonna cry, cry. If you're gonna be mad, get mad. If you're gonna be, depressed, then just, be sad for a little bit. But you never overindulge in anything. And I think that's another thing where I was going with this whole video, is that people either don't indulge at all or they overindulge. It's either, one extreme or another. It's, there's never a balance. And whatever happened to that balance? Men want these beautiful women and, want women to be beautiful, but they don't want them to, wear makeup or be super skinny or whatever it is. And same thing with women. They want these big, tough, strong guys that look hot all the time, but then they don't want them to be too metrosexual or do too much manscaping or do, whatever, or work too much, whatever it is. There's always, a contradiction to what you really want. And, people want these perfect lives, especially, younger generations, because if you grew up 20, 30 years ago, it was a lot different. Not everything was at the touch of a button or wasn't easy to be accessed, or, you had to be born into a wealthy family to have access or the privilege to be able to get certain things. And now people get mad because they automatically expect that everybody's supposed to be equal and that everybody's supposed to live on the same level. And I think people forget that we all come from different backgrounds and we all have different lives. Whatever we portray on the internet and what we want, very, very cool. It's great to have a goal and have a set perspective of what you want and need online. But when you step back and you're actually living it in the mundane world, whether it's at work or school or at home, things don't always work out to be perfect. And, unicorns just don't shit glitter all the time. They just don't do that. And I really don't get what's ever going to change. And it's kind of scary. I really find it scary because what is going to happen to our society in the next 5 years? How much are things going to change? You have some people saying, oh, they're sheltering their kids because they don't want them to be overexposed or overstimulated or depend on, certain things that are just lifestyle now, technology and computers and smartphones and this and that, this and that. They want to shelter their kids for protection from bullies and trolls and all those haters out there. Okay, that's great. And I understand that. But there's a point to where you completely shelter somebody. And, and the reason why they shelter them is, oh, well, in 5 years, the apocalypse is going to happen and we're not going to have any of this stuff. And they're doomsday preppers and they're prepping for the whole entire world to shut down. That's great. And I think it's amazing to be prepared. But what if? What if life isn't going to be like that in 5 years? What if it just continues to grow and it continues to just get even more crazy to where we're like Wall-E and we're all on this cruise ship and we're, so lazy we can't even walk around. We're just floating around and everywhere and we teleport places. We don't even drive or walk or run anywhere anymore. I think it's great to embrace the new, but it's also very important to embrace the basics and the old, so to speak. Old tradition, morals, respect, camaraderie, all that stuff. I don't think there's a balance of that anymore. Balance in the world, in the universe nowadays is just completely out of whack. You got your super happy people, and then you got your super pissed off people all the time. And your logical thinkers that need facts and proof and science and all this. And then you've got your imaginatory, creative souls out there that don't need it because they feel it and they embrace it or they have visions or whatever it is. I think if we all came together, in a sense, and kind of preached that knowledge or gave out that knowledge, I think it's important to share our experiences and perspectives to come to a certain level of understanding. And if people could come to that balance of understanding, things would go a lot smoother. But it seems like no matter how hard people try, they're so set in their ways that it's like everything's closing in on you and people are getting actually more and more closed-minded. They want to be open-minded, but they don't want to hear what anybody else has to say. Unless you listen to them and take in what everything they have to say, then they want nothing to do with what you have to say and don't even take it in or consider it. And I swear, I feel like I was born in the wrong generation, the wrong lifetime, because uh, walking that balance and living that balance and then trying to interact with people nowadays, it's really difficult and it's not easy to communicate with people exactly what's going on in the broad picture that you have in mind. You know, it's just not that easy to put it in perspective to a lot of people. And I think a lot of that for me comes from, studying psychology and being an old soul and really stepping back and paying attention to what's going on. But uh, I don't think a lot of people do that. I think they want to, but they don't. And then another thing I find that's interesting is everybody is so worried about pleasing people. They don't make YouTubes because they're worried about offending somebody or because they're worried about, somebody getting mad at them or whatever the case is. But then you have the other people who will post anything and everything and even have no shame to where they'll post the most ridiculous stuff like, really, dude? Really? I don't want to hear that, you're smoking weed all day and, fuck the world and all that stuff. I don't care. I don't care. Why would you post that? Do you not, do people just have no shame nowadays? It's a level. It's a level of morals. Yes, we all, have our vices. And yes, we all have, indulgent moments of whatever it is that you do. But people get mad and upset that they can't practice their First Amendment, freedom of speech, and I don't know, and they get in trouble for it. It's just, but then they don't realize that there are sometimes you get reprimanded for it, because if you go get hired on a job nowadays, they check your Facebook to see what kind of pictures you post and what kind of statuses you put up and what kind of person you really are outside of the workplace or outside of school or whatever outside it is. So my thing, and I guess what I'm trying to preach or put out there, is that, people, no matter what religion you're in, no matter what spiritual practice you have, no matter what beliefs, no matter what morals, sexual lifestyles, no matter what kind of person you are, there is a level of respect for yourself, respect for your family, and just the honor of, I don't know, carrying yourself on an even keel level. Don't be afraid to be who you are, but be modest and humble about it. Don't be afraid to share your opinions. But if you're going to share your opinion, don't get upset and offended if somebody shares their opinion back and you don't agree with it. Take it in stride, take it with a grain of salt. It's just interesting because, I sit back and me, I don't judge. Everybody's got their own thing. I may not disagree, or I may not agree with you and may disagree highly on you with some stuff. But if you follow me on Facebook and, you've ever communicated with me in person, you know that we just agree to disagree, or I let it slide and I don't worry about it. I don't lose sleep over it. And I expect you guys to do the same with me. I'm not always going to do something or portray to be this perfect person, because I'm not. And I expect you to disagree with me sometimes or go, what the hell? What? And that's okay. But I have come to the piece where, um, I'm happiest when I can be me, and I'm happiest when I can share some knowledge, maybe enlighten somebody or inspire somebody and give some advice. But I have come to the point where, and I fully accepted that I'm just not going to be chained down and stay in that narrow passage of being the perfect public figure, because there's so much that goes into that. If you want to learn from me, I could teach you a lot, but it's going to take a long time and it may not all the way fit with you. But if you take bits and pieces, then yeah, it might resonate with you. You can use it and apply it in your life and make it work where you see fit. I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling. I really am. And you know me, I like to ramble, but it really amazes me on how some things are going. And I hate seeing people sad and upset. And I hate people trying to go through a huge change in their lives and not have that support that they need or that they're looking for. You know, not everyone is blessed to be able to have family real close, or even have a family that they're close with, or even have friends nearby, or that they're able to, you know, completely communicate with and be open with, you know. But don't allow those things to inhibit you, because out there are people that care, and there are people that do give unconditional love and support. You know, it doesn't only come from animals. So, you know, if you want to preach the good word of something, you know, of, you know, cruelty to animals, or being vegan because you don't want to eat meat because it's cruel to the animals, or shop local businesses, don't support corporate world, or whatever your passion is, preach it. But if somebody doesn't agree with it, you know, don't shove it down their throat. Accept that they're not exactly like you, and that they may take what you have to say into consideration, and move on. You know, don't make that person feel like a piece of crap. And if you're that person on the flip side and you don't get it, or it doesn't apply to you, and you really like this person but you just can't jump on the bandwagon with them, don't beat yourself up about it. It's okay. But don't disrespect that person because you don't agree with them. Take it in stride, let it go. Apply where you can, and don't apply otherwhere. Just file it away, you know, and acknowledge it and have respect for it. I guess that's all I'm saying, people. Can we just have some respect for each other? Really, really, really? You know, I don't like drama. I don't like it. I hate it. And yes, sometimes it comes up and there's no way to avoid it, and that's fine. You know, you go with emotions and stay strong in yourself, and go through life. But practice what you preach for real, you know, and don't let things get you down. And always remember that whether you have kids or not, you are setting the example for the future, and for the people that are being born now, or growing up now. And, you know, we got to set a good example. You know, if we all don't want this world to go to shit, then we better start doing something about it, you know, on several levels, not just taking care of Mother Earth, not just conserving energy, you know, not just making the right political decisions, not eating the right food, growing the right food, putting chemicals in the right food, practicing certain medicines. I mean, there's so many things. It boils down to even just social skills, spiritual skills, honorable, just camaraderie, just skills of respect. What happened to respect? So yeah, if you're looking for something to meditate on, or something to do great for the humankind in the world, wish that everybody would come to a good level of balance. Balance, balance, balance. Yeah, I think that's it. That's my 20-minute rant of stuff. So I'll be back on. You'll see me on YouTube a lot. I'm going to just start winging videos again, just kind of like I used to. You know, I am. And actually, I'm going to do a separate video on that right now. So, love! That's my lesson for the day.